Okay, we got everybody here. I'd like to call this meeting, the Clay County Commission, to order. We will start with our invocation. Phil, you are a frequent guest here, so please, you know the drill, I believe, so proceed.
Let us pray. Great God, our Master and Lord, creator of all things and judge of all mankind, we, your creatures formed in your image, come before you as the only one we owe all allegiance and praise. Only you, the great I Am, who created time, exist outside of this realm from eternity to eternity. You are not captive to your creation, we are. But even more, we are captive to you. We owe you our praise and thanks, but confess our stinginess in such matters, parceling out gratitude in crumbs rather than recognizing the very source of our life and being. And we so often do that to one another too. So forgive us, Heavenly Father, for so often neglecting others and forgetting you. We continue, dear Lord, to need your blessing and intervention in this experiment in self-government, designed to be for the people and by the people. The founders knew all too well that this nation would be born and continue in freedom only by your grace and goodness. Those whose blood and toil so many years ago cautioned the generations to follow that the first and most important qualification for public service was that of good character, a concept we must embrace or perish. So in the hour ahead of this commission, infiltrate the minds and hearts in this room, that everything said and all decisions made will be born out of that necessity, and that charity would be the foundation not only for this body and these citizens, but that our nation would have a new birth, a true spiritual revival that would inaugurate an age of graciousness and goodness in the hearts of her people. In the name that is above all names, even the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Nolte?
Here.
Commissioner Withington? Commissioner Lawson? Commissioner Wagner? Commissioner Johnson? Commissioner Thompson? Commissioner Carpenter?
Okay. That brings us to approval of this evening's agenda. Commissioner Johnson?
Move to approve tonight's agenda with the exception of the Human Resources update under discussion item, which will be moved, rescheduled for a future date.
Yes. Very good. Any discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
That brings us to ceremonial matters. We have three this evening. Mr. Administrator, the first one on our list is 2026-104. And
Yes.
after you introduce it, I will recognize Commissioner Withington.
Sure. Evening. First ceremonial matter is 2026-104, honorary resolution recognizing April 2026 as Fair Housing Month. Commissioner Willington.
Very good. Commissioner Withington, I believe this is your resolution, so you are, if you'd like to activate your microphone, I will recognize you. There you are. Proceed.
All right, so it says, whereas the pursuit of fair, safe, and equitable housing opportunities for all individuals and families is a cornerstone of strong, inclusive communities. And whereas April is nationally recognized as Fair Housing Month, commemorating the passage of the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which prohibits discrimination in housing based on race, color, religion, sex, disability, family status, and national origin. And whereas Fair Housing Month serves as an important reminder of the ongoing need to promote equal access to housing opportunities for all people. And whereas housing providers, advocates, public officials, and community organizations, including professional organizations such as the Kansas City Regional Association of Realtors, play a vital role in ensuring compliance with fair housing laws and advancing equality in housing practice. And whereas continued education, outreach, and enforcement are essential to achieving the vision of fair housing for all. Now therefore be it resolved that the Clay County Board of Commissioners hereby recognizes April 2026 as Fair Housing Month and reaffirms its commitment to promoting fair housing principles, eliminating discriminatory practices, and supporting equal housing opportunities for all residents of Clay County. And be it further resolved that the Clay County Board of Commissioners encourages all residents and businesses and stakeholders to observe this month by supporting efforts that foster inclusive communities and uphold the values of fairness, dignity, and respect in housing. So joining us tonight, we have a few members of the Kansas City Regional Association of Realtors. You guys, one of you guys want to say something?
I'm sorry, I will recognize. Please state your name, and you are recognized to address the commission.
Thank you, Commissioner Nolte. I'm Jennifer Justice. I live here in Clay County. I'm a Realtor, and I guess for this matter, I am a member of the Public Policy Coordinating Committee, formerly known as the Advocacy Committee. We're restructuring, but we wanted to bring fair housing, and we appreciate Commissioner Withington bringing this up because home ownership is the cornerstone of the American dream. And unfortunately, through my tenure of being a realtor over the last 26 years, I've learned that there are people that do not believe that they can own a home. And quite frankly, I find that heartbreaking. Because there's 0% programs, there's 3.5% programs, there's 5%, there's 20%, and there's a thing called the MHDC grant in which someone who might not qualify income-wise can get a grant to help them buy a home. And so what we want to do with Fair Housing Month is, number one, just allow everyone to know we see you and we want to house you. And we want to help you learn. Because it's so important to raise children in stable communities, and home ownership is the lead into that. The more that we can promote home ownership, and if they want to choose to buy a home, the better our communities will be, the stronger our communities will be, and the stronger this country will be. Thank you guys so much for recognizing fair housing. It is my great pleasure to be here tonight.
Thank you. Are there any other citizens wishing to come forward and comment? No? Okay, I see head shakes and worded no, so I will assume that that is what we have for that presentation. Are there any comments or questions from the commission? Very well. With that, we will go ahead and take a moment, and we will come down and present the resolution, and then we will resume our ceremonial matters part of the agenda. Thank you. Okay, next on our rather extensive ceremonial matters, I don't think I've seen a time when we've had 3 before, but let's keep the good times rolling. That brings us to 2026-110. Mr. Administrator?
Yes, 2026-110, honorary resolution recognizing National Work Zone Awareness Week April 20th to 24 of 2026. We have our Road and Bridge Director, Tom Degenhart, to explain more.
Thank you.
Please proceed.
Thank you. National Work Zone Awareness Week is a time to recognize the critical importance of safety in and around our roadway construction zones. Each year, far too many lives are impacted by crashes in work zone, affecting not only the drivers, but also the men and women working to improve our infrastructure. As a county, we must invest in maintaining our roads and bridges and keep our community moving forward. But with that progress comes shared responsibility. Every driver plays a role in keeping work zone safety by slowing down, staying alert, and respecting traffic controls. Next week serves as a reminder behind every cone and barricade are real people, workers, families, and neighbors who deserve to make it home safely at the end of the day. So on the screen in front of you is the National Work Zone Awareness Calendar for next week. And then in addition to what is on a national level, on a local level, we are going to have our annual equipment rodeo. So Tuesday, April 21st, we will have a morning excavator and mini excavator rodeo for our equipment operators to see who's the best operator. We'll break for lunch. Afternoon, we'll have a snowplow course. And then we'll continue on Wednesday with the front-end loader course, lunch, and then a skid steer course. And then the top 3 scoring people will compete on a finals on Thursday, the April 23rd. And I might say the high score, it's actually a low score. So you get points for knocking things down. So the lower your score is, the better you are. So we'll take the 3 lowest scores for the finals. So, and you guys are all welcome to come out and try out the equipment, have lunch, whatever, but feel free, you guys are all welcome. Do it? I heard there's a rumor they might try to throw me in a piece of equipment, so that might be a little worth coming out. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions for you guys.
Now, I don't think if you watched me drive, I don't think you'd care to have me there. However, I have a grandson, so if you can put an 8-year-old behind the wheel there and feel pretty good about that, I think we can arrange something.
Well, last night you could see I had a 2-year-old that did mowing for us, so that's a little joke there. So.
But no, this is an important thing to observe. I mean, obviously, it's great to have an event where you have the rodeo and you have the chance for people to get together and enjoy each other's company and quite honestly display their skills. But I think we need to also keep in mind just how dangerous the work is. Clearly, what you touched on was the dangers of motorists going by and maybe not being very cautious and putting the health and lives of these workers in some jeopardy. The other thing that I think it's on a day like this, it's hard to believe that it happens, but we do have winter weather occasionally. And when the wind blows and the ice is out there, these ladies and gentlemen are out there before the sun, clearly way before the sun comes up, making sure that we have safe roads to drive on. So I think the fact that we are acknowledging the hazard that they incur, making sure that we can safely go from point A to point B is important, and I appreciate you bringing this forward.
Thank you.
Any other commissioners wishing to comment on this? Very well. Is there anyone else wishing to comment on it in general? It would appear not. So we will come down and we have the resolution here for you. We will take care of that right now.
Yes.
Okay, next on our agenda would be 2026-113, excuse me, Mr. Administrator.
Yes. Our third item on our ceremonial matters is 2026-113, honorary resolution recognizing National Public Safety Communicators Week of April 12th through April 18th of 2026. And Commissioner Withington will do the rest.
Commissioner, you may proceed.
So I just want to say, last year I got yelled at by Sheriff Aiken because I said Sheriff's Department a few times. So this year I made sure to update it to say Sheriff's Office. And Baz, I sent it to him, so if there's any typos, it's his fault. So, whereas National Public Safety Telecommunication Week is observed annually during the second full week of April to recognize the critical role of emergency dispatchers in protecting life and property. And whereas the dispatchers at Clay County Sheriff's Office have serve at the first point of contact in time of crisis, providing calm, professional, life-saving assistance to citizens in their most urgent and vulnerable moments. And whereas these highly trained professionals demonstrate extraordinary skills, patience, and composure while handling emergency and non-emergency calls, coordinating responses with law enforcement, fire, and emergency medical services across Clay County. And whereas dispatchers work tirelessly, often behind the scene and without public recognition 24/7, or 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, ensuring that help is sent quickly and efficiently when seconds matter most. And whereas their dedication, professionalism, and commitment to public safety make them an indispensable part of Clay County Sheriff's Office and the broader emergency response system. And whereas the Clay County Commission is proud to recognize and honor these individuals whose service, sacrifice, and steady voice help save lives and keep our community safe. Now therefore be it resolved that the Clay County Commission hereby recognizes the week of April 12th, 2026 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Clay County. And be it further resolved that the Clay County Commission expresses its sincere gratitude and appreciation to the dispatchers of the Clay County Sheriff's Office for their unwavering dedication, professionalism, and service to the citizens of Clay County. And be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of this meeting. So, joining us tonight, we have a couple dispatchers and a few members of the Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Aiken. So thank you guys for all that you guys do and keeping our community safe.
Thank you, Mr. Sheriff. If you'd like to come forward and comment on this, that would certainly be our pleasure to hear your words.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commission, I apologize for the casual attire. I didn't have enough time to go home and change, but nonetheless, I wanted to be here for this special occasion. Dispatchers, I have 13 years of dispatch stories that I want to share with you tonight. No, I'm just kidding. But I could. And, you know, for years, I would say 40, 50 years, dispatchers were considered at the federal level nothing more than a secretary. Not to demean a secretary's role, but these are true first responders. And the stories that I just referenced, you know, for example, when a woman drives off a 210 highway and she's about 400 meters in the field and no one can find her, the dispatchers are the ones who thought in a calming the situation down and telling the driver, flicker your lights so we know where you're at. And so the dispatchers were able to find her. And I can go on and on with stories like that. And these are the dispatchers that are making these decisions to help people when it's the worst situation of their life. There's another situation where there was a homicide in Independence. The person was on the loose, and all of the dispatchers in the bi-state region were working together, and they identified where the person was at, ended up in Clay County, and we were the ones who were able to end the situation, I'll just say. Okay, but the dispatchers are the ones who made all of that happen because of communication. Not only do they communicate with the members of our community, but they communicate with each other and all law enforcement that's involved whenever it becomes from a unit all the way through mutual aid. They're the ones who coordinate all that information. But the problem is we never see who they are. We never see who they are. And they rarely ever get recognition. And so this might be the National Telecommunicators Week, recognizing them. That's why I didn't want to not be here, okay, just because I didn't get to change. Because, yes, we're recognizing them this week, but we should be recognizing them every single day. Because when a scared mom who has found their child not breathing, who do you think is helping that mother? It's the dispatcher until a unit gets there. So thank you very much for recognizing the dispatchers and the work that they do. It's greatly appreciated. I know we only have 2 here. That's because everyone else is working or just got through working. And when we talk about their dedication and their commitment to the community of Clay County and the bi-state region entirely, I mean, we're talking about 24/7 operations. They're lucky if they get a bathroom break. We don't have built-in breaks for them. They don't have a built-in lunch break because we don't have enough of them in order to run a regular schedule. So their commitment is right there at the console every single day. So I can't speak highly enough about them. I knew nothing about dispatch operations when I came here, but because I knew how to operate an 800 megahertz radio from my time in Phoenix PD, we had just gotten them here a few months prior. And they were like, you know how to operate these radios? And I was like, well, yeah, this is how you do it. And they're like, congratulations, you're the dispatch commander now. And I was like, what? I've learned a lot. And I also learned dispatchers are important, but I learned how important they truly are. And with me tonight, I have the Lieutenant Larry Tarrant, because he's our technology services commander sitting in the back. He's the one who is in charge of dispatch, and then Major John Bazzano, who's got dispatch in his bureau. And of course, we have Holly with us, one of our dispatchers, and Hazin. So thank you so much for recognizing them. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And I want to say that you're right, they are unsung heroes. We certainly have the greatest of respect for our law enforcement, particularly our sheriffs and the deputies. They are visible. You see them in uniform. You hear about their valor. It is reported in the press, and well-deservedly so. But dispatchers are certainly an unsung hero in this particular issue. And the thing that strikes me is it is the grueling hours and it's all those things that you said, but it's also just the incredible stress that a person in that position would have to go through, because you are literally dealing with someone who is perhaps having the worst day of their lives. And I've been in a position of having the worst day in my life, and I thank God I was in no shape to talk to the dispatchers. Someone else did, but they had the calmness and just the support that puts that into perspective, because the idea is to be sensitive, but also to get help as quickly as possible in those situations. And I think that that's something that there is no way for any of us to understand the type of stress that puts on somebody, because these are caring people, and these are people who are empathetic by nature, I believe. And so when you are listening to someone who is having the worst day of their life again and again and again, you just the common humanity, much less the enhanced empathy, would make that an incredibly difficult burden to bear. And I think you're right. Acknowledging that is very important, because we don't see them and we don't recognize them nearly enough. We do on these occasions, but I think we do need to be cognizant of just what a vital role they play, because without their input, without their part in the process, there would be many more tragic ends to some of these incidences than there are. So thank you and your comrades so much for what you do, because it is important, and I am sorry to say not as recognized as it should be, as the sheriff has just indicated.
And thank you for saying that. There's 2 more things that I want to
Please
mention.
go ahead.
And it struck me that I didn't mention this until you said what you said. These dispatchers hear every single 911 call that comes out. The difference between our deputies who are out in the field and dispatchers is the deputies out in the field, they get closure. Our dispatchers don't. So we have to remember, too, that vicarious trauma affects them more so than what our deputies do, because at least they have closure. They know what's going to happen. They know who's going where and stuff like that. Dispatch, once they relinquish the call, they move on to the next one. And so they remember the cries over the radio, or the phone. They remember the yelling and the screaming, but there's no closure. So we have to take very well care of them. The second thing is, I almost forgot to finish my thought on the secretary status. It was about 4 or 5 years ago when the feds actually changed the status from secretary to first responder. Dispatchers are first responders. And working with the county administrator, we are actually looking at changing their retirement as well, because they're the only first responder in Clay County that doesn't get the same retirement as our first responders at the sheriff's office. So there's a lot that goes into that, but I just wanted to bring it up because that is something that we've been talking about and hopefully getting to fix here soon. But I think they deserve it just as much as the deputies do.
Excellent points, and thank you for spearheading that effort. Commissioner Johnson?
Yes, thank you. I certainly would be remiss if I didn't tack on to Commissioner Worthington's comments. And first of all, thank you for bringing this forward. I think it's very important that we do recognize these folks. And to these folks, thank you for what you do. I've said it before, I've managed now 3 different comm centers in my career. And the first one in Los Angeles County, one of the biggest comm centers around, bigger than KCPD's communications center. But not only did I manage it, but I worked the phones before. I worked 911. They didn't let me dispatch, but they let me take the 911 calls and feed it to the dispatchers. And I will tell you, that job is at times the most boring job you'll ever have. And in a moment's notice, it becomes the most chaotic, stressful, adrenaline rush, cortisol rush, all emotions you can imagine combined into one sometimes, depending on the call. And you never know what you're going to get. And the closure that the sheriff talked about, not having that closure, being on the end of the line and talking through someone, giving CPR to someone to save their life. And once the officers or the paramedics or whoever get there, well, then they hang up the phone. Well, what happened? Did they live? Did they transport him? Did he die? What happened? Just things like that don't give us closure, or being on the line and hearing somebody commit suicide. That's happened to dispatchers, plenty of dispatchers, unfortunately. Or being on the other line and trying to talk somebody through who's delivering a baby. There's things that we don't think about normally, but they do, because you never know what's going to happen. And it is very much an unappreciated job, because those things are few and far between, but when they happen, it happens. And if you get a major accident or an active shooter or something like that, and everyone, particularly nowadays, everybody has a cell phone. Everyone's calling 911 at once, and you get 100 calls coming into your phone at one time. That's a big deal. That's a stressful deal. And you're assuming they're all the same call, but maybe they're not. Maybe you got another call coming in, something else has happened, a couple blocks away. But anyways, I understand what you guys go through, because I had a little taste of it myself, and I've managed in the past. Actually, I manage a comm center now, but it's a smaller one at a university. But I appreciate what you guys do, and know that you're underappreciated. I don't think anybody really understands your job. It's kind of like a deputy's job. Unless you've done it, you probably never understand it. And I say it for the deputies, and I say it for our dispatchers. Unless you've done the job, you'll never understand it. But trust me, we don't give them enough recognition or appreciate them as much as we should. But I'm thankful you're there. I see the response times with the deputies, and I see the response times on how quickly those calls are picked up, which is one of the things that they measure, is how quickly do they pick up the phone once you dial 911. And when you dial 911, most people don't ever dial 911. And when they do, it's a pretty stressful deal just to know you're dialing 911. And when they do, 5 seconds is an eternity. But they're picking it up almost on the first ring every time. That's pretty amazing. But anyways, thank you for what you do. I appreciate it.
Real quick, if I may.
No, please, go right ahead.
I would like to say also that when we talk about dispatchers, we think about 911 calls or admin calls. Did you know you can text to 911 now? Actually, we've had that capability for the last 10 years. Okay, but we're getting ready to do video over 911. That's the next generation of 911. So not only do we expect them to answer the calls, but what happens when the text messages start rolling in and the video starts rolling in? We're going to have to be able to capture all of that as well. So the technology aspect behind it is just, it's amazing. It's amazing of what they're going to be doing and what the capabilities are. So yeah, it's the future.
Commissioner Lawson.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, to me, the dispatchers are the lifeblood of the people in the field. And without them trying to field all these calls and get it in dispatch, I can't even imagine the pressure that they're under. But I've never heard anything but wonderful things about our 911. and about the responses. And didn't one of your people get a special award? Was it one of your dispatchers? Wasn't there a dispatcher that won a big award that day that we had that prosecutors deal? Didn't they?
That was North Kansas City.
Yeah, huh?
That was North Kansas City.
Oh, Kansas City.
North Kansas City Police Department.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, she
You know,
was
whether-
yeah, she was like 28 years of service or something like that. Mhm.
Yeah, it was amazing. So, I think that they are kind of the unsung heroes, and as are our deputies sometimes. But I appreciate everything they do and appreciate the way you appreciate them, because all too often, and I certainly hope that they get the same rewards as our people in the field do, that their benefits, why would they be any different? They're as integral a part of keeping our citizens safe as the guys out in the field. So, yeah,
It has to
great
do-
job. So proud of all of you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lawson. It has to do with the loggers, and there's a lot of math that goes into it because of how many employees that we have, but we are working through that. It's taken a little bit of time. But to your point of unsung heroes that has been mentioned a couple times, they're not just dispatchers behind a console trying to figure it out when times are chaotic. We just earned our accreditation through CALEA. These are not only unsung heroes, but they are professionals at what they do, and they maintain hundreds of standards as minimum standards, but we take it even further than that, and we make sure that we do meet the minimum, but we exceed the minimum. And I believe we are the first sheriff's office in the state of Missouri to get this accreditation, and there's not a whole lot of police departments in the, maybe 3, that have the CALEA accreditation. So that's them working, right? But I just, and people say, good job, Sheriff, great job, you're doing a great job. And you know what, thank you, but all I do is let them do their job, and they shine. So thank you for recognizing that.
Okay, is there anyone else wishing to speak from that group? No? Very well, so we will go ahead and take a moment. Commissioner Withington, I believe you have the resolution in hand, so we'll go ahead and do that, and then we will resume our agenda. Okay, with that, we will continue our meeting, and next on the agenda are public comments. Are there any members of the public who would like to comment on any issue that is important to them? I see none. That brings us to our consent agenda. Mr. Administrator?
Yes, good evening. We have 5 items on our consent agenda tonight. First one is 2026-105, approval of invoice payments for Clay County for the period of April 4th through April 10th of 2026. You had a total of 225 invoices totaling $348,475.42. Next one you have is 2026-107. It's approval of grant application, Missouri Department of Transportation, Highway and Safety Transportation Division with Youth Alcohol Enforcement with the Sheriff Department. The grant application is for $8,313, no county match. 2026-108, another grant application, Missouri Department of Transportation, Highway and Traffic Division, a dedicated impaired driving enforcement, a 50-50 match grant for the county's portion is $81,244, and the total project cost is $162,488. Next one is 2026-109, another grant with the Missouri Department of Transportation, hazardous moving violation, another 50/50 match of $81,244 from the county match, and then a total amount of $162,488. And the last one is 2026-112, approval of the purchase of a capital project encumbrance request for a BOMAG Model RS 460 reclaimer with the Road and Bridge Department. The amount of that will be $141,142.42. And that'd be it for our consent agenda tonight.
Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve tonight's consent agenda.
Motion's been made for the approval of this evening's consent agenda. Discussion. Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington? Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner? Motion passes 5-0.
That completes our consent agenda, bringing us to our regular agenda. We have two items, the first being 2026-106. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, 2026-106 invoices for the Clay County Prosecutor's Office from April 4th to April 10th. Total of 7 invoices totaling $813.22.
Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve 2026-106.
Motion's been made for approval of 2026-106. Discussion, seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
I recuse myself.
Commissioner Withington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner? Motion passes 4 in favor, 1 recusal.
That brings us to the second and final issue under our regular agenda, 2026-111. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, 2026-111. It's a memorandum of understanding between Clay County and the Junior League of Kansas City, Missouri. Our grant coordinator, Cynthia Wagner, is here. This one here is a memorandum of understanding for them to provide menstrual hygiene product packs to Clay County monthly for distribution with the individuals receiving services through county's Victim Advocate Program. There's no cost to the county, and it's no county funds, but it is an opportunity to receive items to help out the less fortunate county.
Very good.
And also, it's a 1-year agreement.
Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve 2026-111.
Motion's been made for the approval of 2026-111. Discussion. Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Withington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
We had one item under discussion, but that was taken off our agenda this evening and will be taken up at a future meeting. So that brings us to reports. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, this evening you have the monthly report from the Auditor's Office on a cash basis, and the report's before you.
Okay. That brings us to County Administrator comments.
Yes. Second. Have a couple items tonight. One of the items is our Review Commission for the Constitution. They have gotten through all, is it 11 articles? All 11 articles for our first review. The next meeting is scheduled for May 7th from 4 to 5:30. At that time, they would go back and cover items that may have been covered by those articles, review language and things of that sort. So they do have another meeting scheduled, which will be May 7th at 4 o'clock here. The other items we have is our Parks Department is having a camping and outdoor showcase on April 25th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Crows Creek Campground. More than welcome to come out. And the last item is again with our Parks Department, but this time is regarding the master plan and providing survey information. We have a survey that's out to provide input regarding the master plan. I have a couple of cards I'll be giving to you all that you can use a QR code or hand out for those who want to provide feedback regarding that one. This does close, I believe, in June, but we want to try to get feedback from the public. This is the second round to try to get feedback regarding the master plan.
Very good. That brings us to Commissioner comments. Commissioner Withington, we'll start with you if you would mind. No comments. Commissioner Lawson? No. Commissioner excuse me, I almost jumped over. Commissioner Wagner? Me neither. You neither. Commissioner Johnson, you have something.
Yes, sir, thank you. Just a quick update. I mentioned last week that I went to Jefferson City to testify before I think it was the Intergovernment Affairs Committee on a bill that one of our state reps, Mark Myrith, has put forward that we've asked him to, and this is the one that allows us to waive fees for property tax issues that are beyond the control. Anyways, that bill made it out of committee this week with a unanimous vote, 12-0, which is a very, very good thing. And so it's going on to the next phase. So he's hoping that maybe he gets attached to something soon, but we'll find out, and he'll keep me posted, and I'll let you know. But it sounds very, very promising that we're going to get this done.
Commissioner Thompson. Okay. I've just got one rather short comment. I went to a ribbon cutting this afternoon, and we all go to a lot of ribbon cuttings. We all like to see businesses coming to our county, and that's an important thing. I was at one that was for a business called Caravel Autism Health. The reason I bring that one up specifically is not just the fact that they look as though they're going to be doing some very good things. They will be dealing with children with autism 6 years and below. But what I do want to use this as an opportunity to say is that autism is a very serious issue. It's something that we need to make sure that we are watchful for. And so often the symptoms of autism are so minor or can be misinterpreted. I would urge anybody who has young children or even older children, but if you suspect there may be even a small chance that they may be on the spectrum, contact somebody like Easter Seals. They will do testing. The most valuable part, I guess the most valuable information I can give you on this is the sooner a diagnosis is rendered, the sooner that treatment and therapy can be employed, and the better chance we have of these children being able to live with this particular issue. So I would just say, do keep the children who have autism, and the adults for that matter, who are autistic, in your hearts and prayers, and make sure that if you know of anybody in that situation, that you certainly extend to them the caring and loving that you would give them. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.